On KTAR.com, when we do Pat's personal portraits, you never know who you're going to meet. In this particular case, we thought, who would be most representative of what everybody's talking about? Well, everybody's talking about immigration. Everybody's talking about undocumented people here in America. And after this is over, everybody will be talking about Dulce Matuz. Now, what is your official title involving the DREAM Act?
I'm the co-founder and current president of the Arizona DREAM Act Coalition.
Can you explain something to me? Because I've made no secret of the fact that since we first heard the phrase DREAM Act and it was explained to us, I couldn't even imagine why anybody would be opposed to it. Do you understand why the opposition is so strong and why they've been so successful?
I think that both parties are been doing a very good job at polarizing this issue and using it for election time and using us as a wedge issue. Pretty much what I feel is like something to debate about or something to talk about. And we're forgetting the people that, like me or other youth and other children that are suffering through the process. We came here as minors with no fault of their own. And we started living the American life without knowing what it meant not having legal status. I graduated from high school, and I also heard about the DREAM Act, and there was obstacles in my life that I had to overcome, like when I wanted to apply to go to college, to ASU. I couldn't really get that far because the third question on the online application was, what's your social? And that's when I realized, oh, there's something wrong.
Well, go back now and tell us your story about little Dulce Matuz. How old were you when you came to this country? How did you get here? Talk to me about your family's journey.
Well, my parents got divorced when I was around 8 years old.
And where were you then?
And I was in Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico. And my mom was a housewife, and my dad has a business. He has a restaurant. So when I didn't know this at the time, but I guess things turned out to be not so pleasant. And
between the two of them,
for my mom, she had to work, and I guess my dad wasn't providing as much money as he needed to. And the opportunities for women there in Mexico, and then her age didn't really help out, and the only job that she could do is a salesperson. So she decided to immigrate to the United States to give us a better life. I was 15 years old when I wanted to follow her because she came here when I was 14, and I really hated it. Being apart from my mom. My dad wasn't living with us. My mom was gone in the United States, and it's five. We're five. In my family. I have 4 siblings, and I'm the youngest. So they were so overprotective of me, and then I wanted to be a rebel, and they wouldn't let me do anything. So I just want to say, I kept telling my mama, I don't care where you are, I just want to be with you. And a year later, she went back and brought me here to the United States.
Were you happy right away in this strange land?
I was happy because I was with my mom. I didn't really care where I was, but one of the things that I can't forget is my first day of school. I remember bringing my my immunization card, and apparently that wasn't good enough, so I had to go and get more immunization shots. So I did that the first day of school, and then I had a huge headache, and then everybody around me was speaking a language that I couldn't understand, and it was very tough that first day. And to make things worse, I was placed in an advanced English class, which I didn't supposed to be there because I knew very few things about English, like the colors, the numbers. So
you didn't speak the language, but you were placed in an advanced class. Welcome to the world of American education, ladies and gentlemen. So it was rough. It was rough then, but it's been rough since then too because of the restrictions and limitations if you're not a citizen. Now I'm going to ask you what everybody asks you because the curiosity is there with everyone. Why are you still here? Why have you not been deported?
I believe I'm here because this is my home, and this is where I want to stay. And
But the government doesn't see it that way.
well, I think some people from the government doesn't see it this way, and some others have a different opinion.
Well, the immigration department could come to your door, though, at any time, could they not, and say, we're sending you back to Hermosillo?
I mean, there's a risk that anybody that is undocumented has to live with that fear of one day being encountered by immigration customs enforcement. But at the same time, we shouldn't let that fear define who we are as people. And my immigration status shouldn't dictate what I want to do with my future and the success that I want to have. So that's one thing that I have learned through this journey, and that if you're passionate about something, you just have to follow it. Of course, there's obstacles, but I have had individuals in my life, like when I was in Carhagen High School, my high school teacher, Freddie Langibardi, and Dr. Cameron really helped me to overcome my fears and tell me that it didn't matter where I came from, it didn't matter my social status, if I had money or I didn't, or if I didn't have legal status, that I can still get an education and be successful.
But do you believe that anybody from any country can come into any other country to be successful and not have to go through the system?
I believe that there has to be a process, a fair and humane process. Right now, I think that our current immigration system is broken, and we need to do something to address it.
What?
I believe that legislation like the DREAM Act should be the first step towards taking care of those who have been living here in the United States for such a long time, and especially the children and the youth that shouldn't be punished for something that their parents did. There's about 11 million families, or 11 million people living in the United States without legal status, and we cannot, the answer is not as simple as say, let's deport them all, or let's legalize them all, because immigration system is very complex, and a lot of people don't understand that we have families that they have mixed status families, like the older siblings will be undocumented, but the younger ones are American citizens.
I have one more question to ask you, and this is, we have to have a brief answer. Why doesn't the total Latino bloc, no matter where it comes from, why doesn't the Latino voting bloc vote more often in order to get those policies changed?
We've been disfranchised and we've been oppressed for such a long time, and we believe that sometimes our vote doesn't matter, but that's changing, and we've seen it, right? Like in Phoenix City District, we saw District 5, we saw that the Latino vote increased by 400%.
And you're going to see to it that it continues to, aren't you, huh? Because
it will.
This is an activist who's here in order to make a difference. Dulce Matuz on Pat's personal portraits.